You've heard of the song of the summer. You've heard of the film of the summer. Well, now it's time to get ready for the books of the summer. Book Yaps with Ash. Hello and welcome back to Book Yaps with Ash. I'm Ash and I'll be yapping about books on the internet. Once again, I'm back after a hot ass minute, but we're here. It's gloomy as hell. I'm excited for fall, but we're going to be talking about the books of the summer because summer's almost over and there have been some good ones. So I've got 5 books to chatter about. Don't spoil it. Whoa. What's this criteria based on? Is it based on what's been popular? What people have been reading this summer? No. Is it based on what's been published this summer? No. Is it based on what I have read in the summer? Yes. and so that's it. That's what this video is going to be. It's going to be my favorite books that I've read so far this summer, which in my head started in May. And it's over now. It's fall now. It's autumn. It's time to be cold. It's time to read scary shit. It's time to get under a blanket. And it's time not to get a migraine from the humidity. If you're with me, say I. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it. I've got 5 books, like I said, that I would consider to be the books of the summer, my favorites that I have read, that have felt the most summery to me, and maybe that has to do with my environment where I read them. I don't know, but we're going to go through them in order of just how they're stacked in this pile when I grabbed them from around my house. So no particular planned order. This one I finished the most recently, and that is Bunny by Mona Awad. So this one's pretty popular. I honestly don't think anything I say about it will do it justice. You just have to read it. But this is a culty, clicky book following students at a writing school. There is one kind of outsider. Samantha is the outsider in this cohort of women who are in this writing class. It's her and a few other girls who she calls the bunnies because they call themselves Bunny all the time. OMG Bunny, you're so right. OMG Bunny, you look so cute. Blah, 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 blah. So they're in this class together. She doesn't like them. She thinks they're wacky. But eventually they invite her to something that they call the Smut Salon. And weird stuff starts happening. And this is one of those books where you're going to read it and you're going to go, what the fuck is going on? From page 1 to the end. And then you're going to go on Reddit and you're going to go www.reddit.com Bunny Mona Awad ending. And then you're going to read what other people think. And maybe what you think is the same as others. And maybe it's not. And you'll go, oh. So that... what else can I say about it? It's culty, like I said. It's weird. It has fantasy elements. There's an unreliable narrator. While I felt like it was summery to me, it also could be a good fall read because it takes place during this school year. This was something that you won't really find anywhere else because it was so weird and confusing, but in a way that worked. Like, it wasn't confusing enough that you were like, I really don't know what's going on. Like, these words don't make sense to me, but it was confusing enough where you're like, what's real and what's a big fat lie? And you may never know, but yeah, this one's don't read like about what it's about because you're gonna be like, what the fuck, why? Just read the book. There you go. All right, number 2 is Cleat Cute by Meryl Wilsner. One thing I'll say, do not listen to this audiobook. Write it down. Don't listen to it. I started listening to this audiobook and I hated it. I hated both the characters. They just were portrayed in this really... One of them was really ditzy and just came off like, oh, haha, And the other one was just very, very dry and seemed like she wasn't even interested in the other character at all. Like she was just kind of miserable. And once I kind of took those voices out of my head and just read the book with my own very dry tone... that comes from up here, they are so much more likable as characters. One of them is a nice ADHD representation. The other is potentially an autism representation. And this was just a smutty little book about 2 soccer players getting down and dirty in the locker room and in other places. There was almost a miscommunication trope that pissed me off, but it didn't lead to a third act breakup. Spoiler, but also you're welcome, because I hate those. And if you hate them too, we should start a club. But yeah, cute, summer read. Okay, next one. Okay, this one was published this year and also is popular, but that's not why I'm talking about it. I'm talking about Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And if you know anything or are on the internet, you've probably heard of this book. Maybe you've already read it like me. This is a story that follows Joan, who is an astronomer turned astronaut working for NASA in the 70s, and she meets this woman Vanessa, and stuff might happen that wasn't really allowed to happen at NASA in the 70s. And it's just a really beautiful relationship between the two of them. It's really cool the way that like you learn about what happens at NASA and like how that all works. You can tell that a lot of research went into it. And then there's also a kind of another plot line of Joan and her relationship with her niece. And I don't like kids that much, nor do I want one, but so I haven't really ever read like a adult relationship with a child. Not like that. Like a guardian child relationship story. I loved it. I was like, oh, is that what people say when they say it's like a gift to have a child? Cool. But yeah, this was fantastic. The last 20 pages gave me an actual anxiety attack, and I was crying? If I wasn't crying externally, I was crying internally. But it was just fantastic. Okay, we have another book that actually was, yes, published this summer, and it's kind of popular. Lisa Jewell's newest book, Don't Let Him In. This, woo, Lisa Jewell. Lisa, how you get me to be like, that's me reading a Lisa Jewell book. Can't sleep, can't eat, read it in like one day type shit, okay? This book was nuts. This is about a swindler guy whose name is everything. He has all these names. But basically he comes into women's lives. You've seen the Tinder swindler. You've seen all that crap. He does that. He comes in. He doesn't have a freaking job, and they still let him in, and he's so romantic and nice, and he kind of swindles them out of their money. He says there's always going to be like a new thing, a new investment that's going to start them on the rest of their lives or whatever. And then he comes up with these lies because he also has another wife and another family and maybe some kids, and you don't know. And oh, his mom's sick in the countryside, but he doesn't want you to come because you don't want to be part of that, right? Anyways, men are trash, but this book is told from a bunch of different perspectives. You've got the perspective of the shithead, which is so fun to be in his stupid ass head. But then you also have the perspective of the daughter of one of the women he's trying to swindle. And she's like, dude, something's up with this guy. He's kind of a loser. So she is sussing him out. She starts kind of talking with other people, trying to figure him out. You also have the perspective of one of his wives, and it's really interesting to see like all the stories come together. There are some chapters that are kind of told years before, and then they catch up to the main storyline. Really great structure. Pacing was incredible. Ending was so good. You gotta love women. It's just Lisa Jewell, man. Like, I feel like the thriller community doesn't appreciate her as much as they should. I feel like she is the best psychological thriller writer out there, and so read that one. And lastly, first of all, best cover on the list. So let's have a moment for Chuck Tingle, Bury Your Gaze. Look at this cover. Look at that. I have this cover facing out on my bookshelf because it looks so sick. Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle is about Misha, who's a screenwriter in Hollywood. He writes stories that are very scary and also kind of inspired by his childhood events. And he writes gay love stories within them. And he is told one day that he needs to kill off his gay characters. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. Because of the burying your gays trope. Everyone in Hollywood wants to kill off the gays. It's easier. So he refuses to do that, and in refusing, he starts being stalked by his characters, by his scary monster villain characters who he thinks are actors doing really, really good cosplay. But are they? This is like, if you like Black Mirror, you'll love this. This is like a modern horror to me. So unique. The twist I did not see coming. But one thing I'll say, despite how cool this cover is, you're gonna want to listen to the audiobook. And I'll tell you why. This was the best audiobook experience I have ever had, okay? It's unabridged, so it's not like this production with this huge cast, and I've never really listened to an abridged audiobook. I don't really know what they're like, but it's the story as it was written, but you are getting additional production. If you look at the cast list, there's like 14 people in it. There's one main person who narrates as Misha, but there are other characters that come in, and while it's happening, you're like, what's the point of this? I don't understand. Why are there these scenes like this? And eventually you'll figure it out. And I think that if you read the book, you might figure it out sooner. It might have a different impact on you. But to listen to it as an audiobook was such an insane experience. I'm closing my eyes right now. I'm picturing myself on the treadmill at the gym going, oh, at the gym. And the gym's a hard place to listen to an audiobook. It's very distracting. There are like 50 TVs, all with different versions of Trump. And then The Big Bang Theory. And really bad commercials. But this book was distracting enough. So hopefully that sells it for you. I don't want to say anything else because it will give it away. But I listen to a lot of audiobooks. And this is hands down, no competition, the best audiobook I've ever listened to. So I feel like that should convince you, right? Okay. Well, that's it. Those are my books of the summer. What are your books of the summer? What have your favorite books been that you have read? Are they like mine or are they different? Everybody's got different books and a different summer. Thanks for watching Book Yaps with Ash. See you for the next one. Bye.